The American Red Cross, our health, our blood, and sickle cell. I have joining me this morning Carmen Perry. Good morning, Carmen, and welcome to WVON.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here. Let's talk about sickle cell. Let's talk about what's happening with the American Red Cross.
Yes.
Let's talk about what we've been talking about. Actually, I've been pushing it out for the last week or so about the blood drive that's coming up. But why don't you tell us what we're doing?
Yes. Actually, I am here to inspire more people to come out and donate blood. So we're having a blood drive next Friday. And I think that you have the information on that, but that's going to be at the Woodlawn Community Food Pantry, and it is from 2 to 6 p.m., and we can talk about the address later. But here at the Red Cross, we have established what's called the Sickle Cell Initiative. And what that means basically is that we are looking to encourage and inspire more people, in particular of African descent, to come out and donate blood. Sickle cell disease affects over about 100,000 people annually. It's a very common blood disorder, genetic blood disorder, and it disproportionately affects those of color. And so here at the Red Cross, along with other local and national Black organizations, we are looking to have more people come out and donate blood. One of the challenges that people who are dealing with sickle cell disease face are pain episodes. Blood transfusions are helpful with those pain episodes. Sickle cell disease patients can require up to 100 pints of blood in a year to help keep those pain episodes at a minimum. And so that's why here at the Red Cross, we are asking people to come out and donate. Typically, people who are affected by sickle cell disease, those blood transfusions are helpful if it is from a donor who is closely matched or who may have the same ethnic background as they do. So,
this is important because sickle cell is a disease that impacts Black Americans, Black people.
Absolutely. And it affects everyone. It just disproportionately affects people of color more so. And we realize that 62% of the American population are eligible to donate blood, but only 3% do. And out of that 3%, the number is even lower from African American donors and people of African descent.
So when you say 67%, 62% are eligible to donate blood, who would not be eligible to donate blood?
Typically people who may, obviously people who are sickle cell disease patients are unable to donate blood. And we can, at the Red Cross, we can give some information to a person. If they contact us, we can give them information based on their health history, whether or not they would be eligible to donate blood. But we encourage just check. Because it's a case-by-case basis, so we're not sure exactly, and we don't want to generalize, but we know those who are dealing with sickle cell disease, that's definitely that they would be unable to donate. But then those who have the sickle cell trait are not necessarily ineligible to donate blood. So
you tell from discussing the blood, discussing their health history, or do you have to take a sample of the blood in order to tell? Or we
want to discuss the health history in advance, and then once we have actually taken, the person has donated their blood, then it does go through a screening process, and the very next day, we can find out if they're eligible, if their blood is eligible to be donated and to be distributed to those who may be in need.
But we focus in on the sickle cell blood drive because sickle cell, while affecting everyone, impacts people in our community more so than others.
Absolutely.
And the need for Black patients and the need for related blood is so critical in that. We're talking with Carmen Perry. She's with the American Red Cross about the blood drive that's coming up next week. We'll tell you more about that and talk more about why this is so important. I am talking with Carmen Perry of the American Red Cross about a blood drive that's coming up at the end of next week. It's happening at the Edward G. Irvin Foundation Achievement Center, 500 East 67th Street on Friday, October 28th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Before we went to break, Carmen, we were talking about why this is important for Black people and the fact sickle cell anemia disproportionately affects black people.
Yeah.
Now, got an interesting comment from one of our listeners
Okay.
as to why so many things are disproportionately affecting black people. And as we talked during the break, it's really not everything disproportionately affects black people, but the things we talk about do, because that's the purpose for which we talk about them.
Absolutely.
But the issue of blood and the type of blood that we typically have is going to be important to those who have sickle cell anemia. Talk about that, son, if you will.
Yeah, so with sickle cell disease in particular, the people who are dealing with this disease, they experience pain episodes. And because oftentimes people of African descent or people of color are affected by this disease, those who donate the blood of the same ethnic background tend to be a better match for the blood transfusions that can help with those pain episodes that those who have sickle cell disease are experiencing. And again, it could take up to or require up to 100 units of blood each year for those sickle cell disease patients. And that, 100 units of blood transfusions. And that's difficult. That's quite a bit if you actually think about it. And it's difficult sometimes for those people to find the blood that closely matches their own. So to help them and to eliminate some of that pain. I mean, sickle cell disease is a debilitating condition at times. And I've spoken with many people who have this disease, and it requires a lot, and it requires a lot of patience. Some people can't work. Some people can't do like basic day-to-day activities
because of the pain.
Because of the pain. The pain is so tremendous.
And 1 in 3 African-American blood donors are matched for people with sickle cell. When you think about the fact that only, you said 3% of people who are eligible to donate blood are donating, this becomes really important for us and certainly critical for those who are suffering from sickle cell anemia.
Absolutely.
So the push here is really to get more of us to donate blood. More of us are eligible to do so.
Yes.
We just need to do so.
We just need to do so. You know, it's important for us to at least inquire. I think that in particular in the black community, we're afraid of the unknown, and we have to get educated about this. In particular, if it is affecting our community, we have to work together.
Okay, so basic things. Does it hurt when we give blood?
It does not hurt at all. There's a needle, a small needle. The process itself takes maybe about 30 to 40 minutes. Prior to, you go through a self-health history. We'll ask you some questions. We'll take a sample of your blood with a prick on your finger, and we will let you know if you're eligible just based on the questions, how you answered the questions in the health history. And then we will set you up. We have an amazing team of phlebotomists. We have an amazing blood collections team. Once you have completed the donation process, you can, we set you up. We make sure that you're well. If you're showing any signs or symptoms that you're not, we'll make sure that we help you out. We'll provide you with food and water to just kind of rehydrate you, because it is a process, but it's a very simple process, and it's nothing to be afraid of.
So you take this small needle, you stick it in my arm.
Yes.
You draw out a few vials of blood.
Yes.
You watch me and make sure that I'm not too weak. I can still walk, drive, do everything else.
Absolutely.
Make sure that I'm hydrated.
Correct.
And you've got blood that continues on that helps to save lives and helps to reduce pain from some other folks who may otherwise be experiencing.
Yes.
A very simple thing. It's taking place Friday, October 28th from 2 to 6 p.m., 500 East 67th Street. This is done by, obviously, the American Red Cross,
Yes.
the Woodlawn Community Food Pantry, of course, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, the National Black MBA Association, the NIH Community Empowerment Initiative, and the University of Chicago Medicine, all involved with trying to make this happen and trying to bring something good to our community. Carmen, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming
very
in
much
and sharing
for
this. And
allowing
thank
me
you
to
so
be
much.
here.
Indeed, thank you so much for doing this. We'll continue to talk about this over the next week because this is critically important. And you'll continue to hear my voice telling you about why this is important through the promotions on WVON. So thank you, Carmen. Thank you again.
Thank you again, Rufus. Thank you.
Great.